Chat, is this Prime Minister serious? Even though he's the Prime Minister of Australia, sometimes it feels like he's the CEO of Ohio.
Today we're going to be diving into a topic I've never covered on this channel. Politics. Specifically Australian politics, which I've never known anything about until today, where this senator gave an absolutely gripping and moving speech at the Australian Parliament. Senator delivers brain rot speech in Parliament. Skibbity. Never did I think I'd be hearing the word skibbity spoken by a political official in a country's parliament, but here we are in 2024 where this is a reality.
Today I rise to address an oft-forgotten segment of our society. I speak of Generation Z, who will be playing a substantial role in the next election, and Generation Alpha, who will start to come of age the election after. It is for this reason that I shall now render the remainder of my statement using language they're familiar with. To the Sigmas of Australia, I say that this goofy-air government have been capping, not just now but for a long time. A few of you may remember when they said there'll be no phantom tax under the government I lead. They're capaholics. They're also yapaholics. They yap non-stop.
Speaking of yapping, I'm already struggling to follow the yap being said in this speech here, and it's only been about 10 seconds. Whose idea was this? Because if it was her idea, her career in politics may have just been flushed down the toilet faster than me flushing the toilet after eating Mexican food. Because let's be real, the majority of people following politics are usually older and are probably just going to be shaking their heads at this. Like, I don't know if anyone's taking you seriously now. Maybe I'm looking too much into it. Maybe this won't affect her career, but the thing is, even if this speech does as intended and reaches a younger audience who have the brain rot to understand the stuff being said here, they're not even going to be old enough to vote, and probably won't be old enough to vote in the next election as well. Your career might be over.
I lead. They're capaholics. They're also yapaholics. They yap non-stop about how their cost of living measures are changing lives for all Australians. Just put the fries in the bag, lil bro. They tell us that they're locked in on improving the housing situation in this country. They must have brain rot from watching too much Kai Cenat and forgot about their plans to ban social media for kids under 14. If that becomes law, you can forgo skull emoji all about watching Duke Dennis or catching a dub with the bros on Fort.
Speaking of kids under 14, they're probably the only ones who can listen to this speech and understand everything without having to decipher it like it's a codex, which is pretty fucking worrying, but the reason they can is because of social media. And funnily enough, that's exactly what she's talking about right here. The Australian government is apparently looking into banning social media for anyone under the age of 14. And you know what? It's probably a pretty good fucking idea. For some context, this senator seems to be against that, but this video and her entire speech, ironically, has only convinced me that yes, social media probably should be banned for kids under 14. Do you really want your kids to be subject to these levels of brain rot and talk like this? Hell no. Ban that shit immediately.
Skull emoji all about watching Duke Dennis or catching a dub with the bros on Fort. Chat, is this Prime Minister serious? Even though he's the Prime Minister of Australia, sometimes it feels like he's the CEO of Ohio. I would be taking an L if I did not mention the Ops, who want to cut WA's GATS and services tax. The decision voters will be making in a few months' time will be between a mid-government, a dog-water opposition, or a crossbench that will mog both of them.
My god, this right here is some grade A, 100% pure cringe. Walter White himself couldn't manufacture anything more pure than this cringe. It's not very often I see something that evokes an actual physical reaction in me, but this is on another level. Now I'm gonna make a little bit of a confession here. And it is, I'm ashamed to say that I do understand some of this. Not all of it, a small percentage of it, but I do understand some of this brain rot speak. I'm young, but not that young, so the Gen Z brain rot hasn't fully affected my mind. But with that said, I'm actually a little impressed. They managed to craft a speech so plagued by brain rot nonsense to the point where it's almost incomprehensible, but still makes sense. Because I gotta say, maybe my brain is too far gone, but I do understand what she's saying, and I actually get the points she's bringing up. And from some of the brain rot terms I do know, they do fit pretty well too. So I gotta give points for the creativity here. Some of it is pretty hilarious as well.
GATS and services tax.
GATS and services tax, mid-government versus a dog water opposition, CEO of Ohio. How the hell is this real?
Mid-government, a dog water opposition, or a crossbench that will mog both of them. Though some of you cannot yet vote, I hope when you do, it will be in a more goated Australia for a government with more aura. Skibbity.
Yeah, I don't know about goated. I think the Australian government is cooked. This senator's career is officially skibbity after this speech. I don't know if there's a possibility of a comeback after this. Sooner or later, she's gonna be putting the fries in the bag.
Just put the fries in the bag, lil bro.
Now, as much as I gotta give points for creativity to whoever wrote the speech, whether it was her or her writer, it boggles my mind that this was actually said at a country's parliament. How is this real? What idiot greenlit this? These are the effects social media has had not only on Gen Z, but government officials of countries now. And you need to be careful. You need to defend yourself from the brain rot, because it looks like it's only going to get worse.
Sometimes it feels like he's the CEO of Ohio.
But anyways, I think that's going to wrap up today's video. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for some more juicy videos coming soon to the channel. And let me know if this speech moved you, or if you even understood a single sentence. Let me know. Leave a comment. Peace.